everyone. You're watching Campus France Live. Thanks a lot to be there with us today. And we are going to discover higher education in France and to talk about the different MSCs in finance, 100% in English, at Skema Business School for MSCs. And the following hosts will be participating in the event. Amaury Gogel, Director of the Financial Market and Investment MSc. Hi, Amaury.
Hello, nice to see you.
Thanks a lot to be there with us today. We're also with you, Diederik Koopman. Hi.
Hi, nice to be here.
You're a student of the MSc Financial Market and Investment, and we are with a Skype liaison with Dafer Saidan. Hi.
How are you?
Fine, and you?
Thank you. Thank you for your invitation.
That's a pleasure. You're the director of the MSc Sustainable Finance and Fintech. We're also with Pierre Avot. Hi.
Hello, everyone.
You are working in the international recruitment at Skema Business School, and we are with Umaima Kena. Hi.
Hello, thank you for including me.
Thanks a lot to be there with us. You're a graduate of the MSc Corporate Financial Management. And finally, we are with Céline Renucci. Hi.
Hello.
You are the director of the MSc Corporate Financial Management at Sophia Antipolis. We have 1 hour to discover all of these programs. You can begin to ask all your questions on the chat section. But let's start with a few introductions. Can you, for instance, Amaury, introduce Skema Business School in few words?
Well, so thank you to giving me the floor. So Skema Business School is, as you know, one of the leading French business schools, which is now we've consistently ranked among, let's say, top 5 in France. And we have maybe one specificity, which is to be a multi-campus structure. Just something that we have an historical and uncompeted lead on that. So we have campuses, so 3 in France, 1 in the US, 1 in Brazil, 1 in South Africa, 1 in China, and well, development is going on. Like in India, not to say much, so you see. So we were very used to students' mobility, intercampus, and we developed a M2 program in what we call a global approach, which means that we have both a global structure in the curriculum, but also we try to develop some local distinctions based on each country culture, basically.
What could be really interesting now is to discover the different MSc. Let's start maybe with the MSc Sustainable Finance and Fintech with you. Dafer, can you introduce your MSc in few words? Dafer, I think you're
for this opportunity.
We just had a little, I'm really sorry, we just had a little issue with the phone. Can you begin again, please?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for this opportunity to introduce this new program, which is really very exciting. As you know, we will start in September 21. It will be dedicated to sustainable finance and fintech, with a strong partnership with big institutions, 7 big institutions, and we will United Nations will join us as soon as possible to be a strong partnership to support this program. Very briefly, this program prepares students for a career with a new approach in finance, based on sustainability, on ethical approach, on sustainable aspect. And additionally, we complete this, let's say, this field with strong tools, technical tools in fintech, in digital finance, etc. So the program, as I said, is supported by a very strong professional development committee of industry representatives and corporate partners, who help us to launch the program, the content of the courses, with a very strong link with the job market. So Paris Europlace, BPI France, l'ASFAF, l'Ors, la financière d'échiquier, play a very, very strong role in this program, and this is a way to make more concrete our education, and it's I think a new approach and a new content, and that's all for the moment. I can give you more details after a while if you want.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Céline, can you tell us a few words about the MSc Corporate Financial Management, please?
Sure. So the MSc CFM, as we call it here, so Corporate Financial Management, it prepares students to deal with all the financial activities of a company. So it prepares students to become, treasury managers, financial analysts, financial auditors as well, financial controller. I mean, any job that starts with financial, that relates to financial activities within a company.
And Amaury, the MSc Financial Market and Investments.
Yes, so as clearly explicit in the name, so we were programming market finance, which is ranked in VFT. So we have, let's be quite frank, high ambitions to that. So we truly try to perform strongly and to be very competitive on the international scene. And the program is developed on 3 campuses, so specifically in Paris campus, in Sophia Antipolis campus, and in Raleigh in US. And so each campus is trying to encompass as much as possible from the market finance job markets. So maybe just to give you a few insights, and then I think questions will help to go deeper. But in Sophia Antipolis campus, there are extremely, let's say, focus on front office, dealing room, sales, trading, risk management, structuring, and asset management. In Raleigh campus, they have something which is extremely specific, which is the US CFA certification, so Chartered Financial Analyst. So they are a partnership with the CFA Institute. And the program is developing, so partly what we also do in French campuses, which means the fundamentals of market finance, programming, quantitative tools, but also and foremost, I would say, optimizing the chance to clear the CFA level 1 or 2 certificate, plus being immersed in the US culture and the US way of doing market finance, which is not the same as in Europe. And ultimately in Paris, so we are a highly international cohort, and this is the hub effect of Paris, I guess. But also we developed 2 tracks, one in asset management, which is so long-term view investment, and another one in investment banking, so everything related to deal making from M&A, IPO, equity capital market, debt capital market, acquisition finance, project management, spin-on, spin-off, restructuring. So, that's everything, let's say, linked to corporate activities. So maybe like the CFM program, but with a strong market focus and some more, let's say, maybe quantitative tools.
And Pierre, there is also an MSc Auditing, Management, Accounting and Information Systems. Can you tell us a few words about this MSc?
Yes, so this is the third, I would say, program. The program director is not here today, but it's to give a strong knowledge about finance and about the system of information.
Okay, so there is 4 different MSCs dedicated to finance. What we can do now is watch a little trailer, a little video to discover more in details all this MSc, and we will be back just after that. You can keep on asking all your questions on the chat sections. And the video is coming. You're still watching Campus France Live. Thanks a lot to be there with us. And we're still exploring the different MSc in finance of Skema Business School. Let's now talk with our students and graduates. Beginning with you, Diederik, can you introduce yourself in few words? Tell us where you're from and why you choose the MSc of Skema Business School.
Yes, sure. I'm Diederik Koopman. I'm a Dutch student at Skema. I'm from Amsterdam, and I've chosen Skema because, well, especially the Financial Markets and Investments Master, because I really like the courses, the specializations, as Amory described, for asset management or investment banking. And also I like the fact that the courses are taught by professionals mostly, which you get a really real life experience of how it is in the real world. Also, I really like that I could go to different campuses with my studies, and that it's a very international program and a lot of international students.
And can you describe the background you had before joining Skema Business School?
Yes, I did a bachelor in the Netherlands with a short exchange in London, and I've had some work experience before, and then I joined the 2-year masters.
And you, Umaima, can you introduce a little bit yourself? Tell us where you're from and why you chose Skema Business School to do your MSc.
Yes, of course. My name is Umaima. I am Moroccan, and I was looking actually for a school that offers a master's degree dedicated to new technologies, to the digital world, but still related to finance. So Skema came across with its very elaborate program, and I could not send my application. And today I am a consultant. I still work in. I am a banking transformation consultant. So I'm still in the finance or in financial sector and in the banking sector. And of course, my courses in Skema related to finance, to fintechs, to digital finance helps me a lot to become what I am today.
Céline, can you tell us how long do the different MSc last?
The MSCs are 1 year, so you can enter as a 2-year student, but then the first year is general across all the students, whatever the specialization that you choose, finance or not. And then the second year is really the MSc year where you choose your MSc specifically.
Amory, we have 4 different MSc dedicated to finance. How to choose between the 4 of them? What are the differences?
Well, first of all, I would say that finance is quite vocational. So as you know, you have hundreds of positions, but nevertheless, that would be a map, between different families. Let's say, as corporate finance is usually the biggest part. Market finance is also a core one, and now more and more we have a development of fintech and new sources of investment and new sources of return also that we hope to be long-lasting, of course. And this is why we have now the curriculum which is evolving with those new programs. So again, I think that students who are applying in M2 start to have a quite fair idea about which field of finance they want to work in. So if it is related to companies, it's clearly corporate finance likely, but if it is more investment related, you have several choices. Market finance, which is the broadest, let's say, scope in investment, or the new fintech and green finance programs. So that's good to have a choice.
Diederik, how did you personally choose between the different programs?
Between the tracks, or you mean the masters?
The masters.
The masters. I chose financial markets and investments because I want to work in financial markets in a market-related role, and for that the courses are the best to choose for the FMI.
Okay, so that was the key idea, because there is the different masters, but there are also tracks inside the different MSCs.
Yes, absolutely. So that's a hard choice till the end. We need to say that you can do it step by step. So first step is to choose an MSc. And once you choose your MSc, then you move on, you attend the fall semester lectures, and you have many coach, many meetups with alumni, and now specifically in FMI, we have full-time people dedicated to help, to advise on career. And as soon as your choice is made, then you make your choice for the tracks. So we kept on purpose up to date, at least, because the curriculum keeps on evolving, but up to date we keep a common core curriculum in the falls, so that you can discover the different fields related to market finance, and then you choose your track in the spring semester.
We are now going to talk about the content of the different MSc, and you can keep on asking your questions on the chat sections. Maybe let's start with the MSc of Sustainable Finance and Fintech. Can you describe a little bit, Dafer, the content, the different classes, courses that the students are going to have in this master?
Yes, it's my pleasure. Yeah, of course, this new MSc is based on fundamentals first in sustainable finance. Let me give you some example of courses: sustainable finance and CSR risk management, integrate thinking and impact investment, which is a huge topic today, neo-banking, sustainable banks, CSR, green sustainable business. This, for an example, during the first semester. And additionally to those fundamentals in sustainable finance, we offer some technical tools in order to enhance the traceability, the transparency of this field. And we offer things like big data, artificial intelligence, fintech seminar. We offer some tools like Python, financial modeling, etc. And during the second semester, we have exactly the same balance between fundamentals in sustainable finance and digitalization. Let me give you some example in order to see, the content of sustainability. For example, we deal with value creation, asset management, green bonds, integrated reporting, extra financial performance, and we use more specifically some database dedicated to this field, like Thomson Reuters Asset 4, for example, governance, etc. And additionally, we offer technical tools like blockchain, crypto assets, etc. So this balance between fundamentals in sustainable finance and transversal skills with technical tools is absolutely new, and it's absolutely a big necessity for to update our governance in our banks, in our firms, etc.
Céline, can you tell us more about the content, the different courses and classes that there are in the MSc Corporate Financial Management?
Sure. So as Amaury said, our MSCs are cut in two in a way. The full semester gives the fundamentals in corporate finance. So it's common across all campuses. So here we have some courses that give really the fundamentals of financial management, like capital budgeting, financial reporting, risk management, dividend policy as well. Also, we give some tools like Excel, VBA, Python. And then in the second semester, we do have some specialization track. So if you, I probably don't have time to give all the details of all the tracks, but for instance, in Sophia Antipolis, where I am in charge of the MSc there, we have a specialization in private equity and alternative investments in general. So we have this partnership with an association called Kaya, which delivers a certification in alternative investment. And so all the courses are designed to prepare you for this certification. So we have, for instance, a lot of hours in private equity, obviously, but also in M&A, in real estate, in crowdfunding as well. So all these to, have really a specialization in what are alternative investments.
Céline, probably, if I may, I can complete very briefly this multi-campus program in corporate finance as a global coordinator of this program. Just to give to our, to the audience details, complementary details, we offer 5 tracks around the world, let's say. In Paris, we offer fundraising and innovative investment, financial advisory as well, in Sofia, as you said, financial analysis, and in Belo Horizonte, risk and opportunities management, and finally in Suzhou, another specialty which is digital finance and fintech. So this is, let's say, the very rich approach based on that offer the MSc CFM thanks to our global approach.
And you, Amaury, can you describe a little bit the content, the courses, the classes of the MSc Financial Market and Investments?
Yeah, so of course, so again, we have that common curriculum in the fall, so I guess that Diderek will give us some more, let's say, insight or insider insight that students had this year. But in a very, let's say, conventional way, the fall semester is reviewing all the fundamentals, going from the main asset classes, equity, fixed income, derivative instrument, portfolio management, all the tools, so programming. So we first insist on what's VBA, which is the Excel, let's say, underpinning architecture, let's say. We go up to Python, SQL, R, so econometrics, which is crucial in market finance to make predictions, forecasts. So all that in the fall, plus some pre-schooling also to level up in what we call a microstructure of market finance. The global asset allocation, also macroeconomics, which is a key. Well, and then we slowly deviate in the spring to get more immersed in the different specialization track with fully different curriculums. In investment banking, you find back all the corporate investment banking or deal-making job-related skills that go from negotiation, sales, of course, IPOs, private equity, debt equity capital market, M&A, and so on, post-merger integration. And in asset management, we investigate and dive into all the asset management techniques to make it simple. So a bit more quant development, credit assessment, and advanced econometrics. So just to make it in a nutshell. And again, so I will not detail everything, but noteworthy in US, in Raleigh, so you find back the same fundamentals, as I said, but on top of that, you find back all the topics you find on the CFA curriculum that are taught, of course, with added value, which means by practitioners who are bringing also their experience, and but strictly sticking to the standards of the CFA, which means to be truly trained on the specific format of CFA.
Didier, can you tell us a few words about the pedagogy? Do you have, for instance, a lot of projects going on, or is it like more theory? How is it organized?
It's some courses have only projects, and some courses are more theoretical when it's necessary. But when it's not necessary, we have a lot of group projects or individual projects, or what Amaury said before. For econometrics, it's basically a lot of coding in R. For VBA, we had to make an option pricing tool. And besides that, we also have like simulations, like trading simulations by a company in London that comes there to show us how to trade, how to do market making. Also, we have like some soft skills, like negotiation skills, sales skills. That's what I also really enjoyed.
Yeah, I think just to complete that, what matters is to find the right blend of pedagogy, because there's no one pedagogy standing alone which is good or bad. We do not favor that much theory or abstract calculation, that's sure, but I mean, little of it is required nevertheless, so we need to find the right balance. So the overall focus is practice, hands-on, case studies and so on, but then we try to have lectures that offer a very diversified portfolio of approaches, for instance, inductive teaching, problem solving, reflex, pragmatic. So any kind of mindset can find some, let's say, a good fit with the different lectures.
Céline, can you tell us the level of math that is required to study in the different MSc? Because I imagine that it's a lot of mathematical formula, etc. So do your students need a good level of math, or can they have like a different class to help them to have a better level?
So a minimum level is required, obviously, because if you do not like math, then I would recommend to not choose a MSc in finance, right? But then, of course, what we have in our programs are pre-schooling, which offer you the opportunity to catch up if you are a little bit lagging behind. So that gives you a bit of time in the beginning of the year, like a few weeks to get ready for all the mathematical challenges that we're going to have during the year.
Pierre, can you tell us about the certification of the different MSc? What are the different recognition that they have?
It will be more, I would say, Amaury and Dafer who can talk about it, but what I can say in general is that really we are preparing the students with certification. It's a huge plus on all our program, that it's not only saying, let's say, the theoretical point of view, but you have also the certification that will be very much like a value on the job market, because this is what the companies are expecting for.
Dafer, maybe you have some information regarding the different certificates?
Sure. It's very important for us, this certification, because as you know, it's a guarantee for our students to get the good job. And for example, if I give the example of the MSc Sustainable Finance FinTech, we are discussing about an agreement with la SFAF, Société Française des Services Financiers, to offer to our students, starting from September, an European certification set up by the European Federation of Associations of Financial Analysis, IFAS, certified ESG analyst, and this certification will be offered to our students. Additionally, we are analyzing another opportunity with certification from CFA UK in ESG as well. So this is a big asset, a big guarantee for our students to get additionally to the program, a guarantee to integrate the professional world in a good condition.
Umaima, how did the different courses that you had help you in your professional life?
So maybe so for the different classes I had, as they all said, we had classes from portfolio and risk management to fintech seminar, entrepreneurial finance, and all these classes, all these information that we gathered during my year in Skema helps me understand more profoundly the corporate and the professional life. Because as my colleague said, we had professionals teaching us classes. It wasn't just teachers; it was people from from banks, from consultant firms, etc., teaching us the real methods and what's good, what we should do and what we shouldn't do. So it was very interesting.
We have a question coming from the chat for you. So I think, Pierre, a question from Larissa. Are the admissions still going on?
Yes, we still have available seats on all the campuses. So you can still proceed on the admission process for fall 2021.
And what are the different steps to apply?
All the program in finance are in 2 steps at Skema Business School. So there is a first step which is called the Visio Talent interview. So all the students who have this, it's like it's online, and there is a number of free questions which are related to finance and also to the program that the students are applying. And then the program director, who are here today, are looking at the Visio Talent interview, and then they are giving either the green light to proceed and to have a special interview with them to explain why they have chosen the program, how this program will help them to reach their professional goals. So the admission process is in two steps. And before that, also, of course, they need to make like an online application with all it's like classic documents like CV, cover letter, recommendation letters, their background. Here we have some students who already had some work experience, so they can also head it. So this is the online application, then the Visio Talent, and then the Skype interview with the program director.
And Pierre,
So-
yeah?
Yes.
Continue.
No, I wanted to say that if there is, I would say, some students now which are willing to apply, they can ask directly their questions to Dafer and to Amaury. It's a great chance also to speak to them directly and also to Céline, of course.
And what is the background required to apply, Pierre?
They need to have already an experience in finance. I think Dafer, Céline, and Amaury will agree on that. That all our students they must have already, I would say, they must have like a path in economics, in mathematics, and in financial. And if you want to complete with something, Céline, Dafer, and Amaury.
Yeah, maybe
Yes.
Amaury, you can describe a little bit what kind of background and what kind of experience you're looking for.
Yeah, so thank you. That's, of course, a very important question. First thing, we are open-minded. And this is extremely important to say because it does not reduce, to some boxes you tick or not. So it's a multi-criteria approach, which makes it both nice because it's open, but also maybe harder to perceive to some extent. So I will try to do my best. First thing to have in mind is you were referring before about math. Math is required in finance, but it is not, as nuclear physics, neither. So you just need to have minimum foundations in math, for sure. Then we also look for professional experience because, as I said before, trying to find a job post M2 without having the prior, let's say, accurate background starts to be tricky. Except if you have very kind of double competencies, which is rare. You have a doctorate in psychology, why not? It may find some interest in some boards of investment bank, but well, we all understand that as a first start of career, it's quite unlikely. And overall, so professional experience, and we look for people, let's say, able to have insight, critical thinking, and able to absorb large quantity of data and large quantity of information. So, and ideally, we would like to find people with some, let's say, nuanced reasoning. For instance, when we have a SCAP and we are asking for questions about, well, which kind of investment strategy do you prefer? Well, it's good if if the candidate is not answering in, let's say, a black or white manner, saying yes, this one is the best, or follow the trend is your friend, without any nuance or any more subtle approach. So having a very good knowledge of financial news, being able to put things in perspective, to absorb large quantity of information, and to make proper synthesis. So that's the challenge. So again, we are open-minded, but selective, we have to acknowledge.
What would be, Diederik, your advice in order to pass and to pass successfully all this admission process?
I think the most important thing is to show that you're passionate about doing finance and that you did some things more outside of university to develop yourself in finance, that you read some books, that you did some internships, that you even watch a movie, or that you can explain what you think about the topic. Just I think passion is the most important. And as Amaury said, that you can think outside the box and have an international mindset. I think
it's not the diploma that matters. You may have done a bachelor in economics, of course, if we if we welcome some engineers with very high standards in, let's say, engineering in math, engineering in physics, or engineering in computer science, this is something that we are eagerly looking for. But, well, any other kind of background, diploma, or credentials are considered as soon as I said the key word is, of course, passionate and motivation. And I would also add knowledge, at least curiosity. Curiosity.
Dafer, in your opinion, how to know if we're all, let's say, built to study finance?
I share absolutely all what said by Amaury and Friedrich. I think we need to have two aspects: some soft skills, as you said, open-minded, sharing approach. Specifically for the MSc, Sustainable Finance, FinTech, we need people that are at least open-minded to the CSR approach, to the corporate social responsibility approach. So this is, I mean, very important. And don't forget that we have people from all the world. China, India, Africa. So we need people that are open-minded in terms of cultural approach, ready to share their culture with their classmates. So this is very important for us. Additionally to the hard skills taught by Amaury, internships in finance, minimum background in math, as said Céline, and minimum background in finance, of course. But the first step is for me, for my colleague as well, very, very important. The soft skill sets is very important to verify. I mean, when the candidate apply for our MSc.
Pierre, what is the deadline to apply?
We do have deadline every 15 of each month until the programs are full.
Okay.
So so we will definitely let know the students when it will be closed. But every 15 of each month we have a new session of recruitment.
We're now going to talk about the student life at Skema Business School, and if you still have questions, don't hesitate to ask them on the chat. Diederik, how is it to be a student at Skema Business School?
It's very fun, especially during my M1 because there was no COVID, and this year there was barely any student activity except for like studying together. But yeah, the students are very open, very friendly, and normally you have like students club in like finance, or also like in if you want to sail or if you want to golf. So yeah, there's lots of students club on the website. You can find all of them. But most of all, like it's meeting your classmates and connecting with them, having lunch with them. That.
And what is unique is your capacity to travel. I mean, you can even, as we say, semestralize, meaning that you can do your full semester of M1 if you are doing the 2-year MSc in one campus, let's say in US, for instance, and the spring in China, Brazil, wherever. Well, so usually what you are doing is you target the program that you're looking for in M2. You choose your campus. So let's say I'm doing the FMI in Paris, randomly in M2. Then I'm deducing in which place I want to live and experiment my M1 student life, but could be again in 2 semesters over the M1 academic year.
But Amaury, we can imagine that studying finance is something really, let's say, intense. Do they still have time to enjoy the student life, your students?
You notice that he refers to the M1, not to the M2. So I think this is self-explicit.
Yeah, in the M1 you have time, but in the M2 you focus on your masters and on your classmates. And I do not know that much people that have so much time left besides the program to join a full-time club.
Because there is a lot of stuff to integrate, a lot of new ideas, new concept. That's what M2 is done for.
Basically you're always busy with the masters until you finish the last course, with projects or with studying, or with applying for jobs as well.
In FMI we have a mantra, which is all the year long you will learn.
Yes.
Many things, of course, but you will learn also how to learn, which means like it is an endless process. And yes, his on purpose. We know it. Of course, is trying to be always overloaded to learn how to overcome, nevertheless, and not to get submerged, trying to get the head out of water. And this is what the professional life is about, and the M2 is fully dedicated to that.
Umaima, what is your best memory as a student at Skema Business School?
As a student at Skema, I think the best memory is the very elaborate cultural experience, because as everybody said, Skema welcomes everyone. I had classmates from India, from China, from Cameroon, from France as well. So it was a very elaborate cultural experience, and as we always had lunches together, and we had to try new things and enjoy becoming French citizens and adapting to this new lifestyle.
Pierre, how do you help students with all the settlement process in France? Let's say, for instance, the visa process, finding an accommodation. How do you help them with that?
We have a team on each campus which are helping the students for visa matters, for housing matters, and so far we found a solution for everybody in terms of housing. And once I would say they are admitted into the program, they need to register. We give a registration certificate that then they are going to Campus France with this registration certificate to get their visa. And afterwards to have, I would say, the following process in France. As I said, yes, we have a team on each campus which are helping the students, I would say, to prolong their visa, titre de séjour, etc. And also what I can say is that with the M1 and M2, as my colleague previously said, they can go to, for example, to start in China and then afterwards to go to Brazil. Each visa afterwards will be, I would say, help also with the team, the international team on each campus, and so far we had really 0% refusal. So if you have chosen first to go to France and then to go to Brazil, you're absolutely sure to get your visa. So it's an important point.
Let's talk now about the internships, because I assume it's an important part of the process. Céline, how many internships is it possible to do during the MSc?
So if you join the MSc program in 2 years, you have the possibility to do an internship at the end of the first year. And then you have to do this final internship at the end of the second year, which is very important for your career. And you also have the opportunity to do a gap year. You can do it in your first year of master in M1, in the middle of the year, or in the middle of the second year as well. So in total, if you do all these internships, you can do 4. Obviously, you can do less than that, but at least the final internship is mandatory, because to get your diploma, to obtain your diploma, you have to do at least 4 months of professional experience.
Diederik, can you tell us, did you already have the opportunity to do internships in the finance world?
Yeah, I was an intern at a hedge fund last summer, and in a month I will go to London to be an intern for one of the investment banks there.
A big investment banks?
Yeah.
Okay, so you help students to find good opportunities. I assume that you have an enormous network.
Yeah, enormous. This is ambitious, but no, of course we are doing all the best we can. But we organize many things to help. So maybe the first thing to say, to my view, which is maybe the most important, is that teachers are practitioners, which means that it happened to some occasions that they had the chance, the opportunity to recruit some of our students. But more than that, they give all the year long some specific inside or speak wording, that looks practitioner and helps to perform during interviews. So this is the first thing. Then we organize some job fair over the year. We will organize also at least 2 meetup meeting each semester, which is a time when students and alumni are meeting and do exchange. And they stay linked through a dedicated platform also after the meetup or conference taking place. We also push and organize to participate to some professional challenges. So I'm thinking, for instance, to the Lyric Challenge, which is a M&A challenge organized in Belgium, for which where STEM students did participate, and they won, by the way. So it was also a way to open the doors to some prestigious investment bank. And ultimately, so I think it was, Diederik had many interviews all over the years. I don't know if you want to discuss. I think it was a Dutch bank or some others.
Yeah, like the Deutsche Bank is the bank I'm going to work for an internship. But what I also found really helpful was I could contact like old FMI alumni, and if I was in the process of applying for a bank, I could connect with them, not with all of them because they're busy, but most of them replied, and they gave some insights about company cultures and about how to perform during interviews and maybe some books to read. So that was really helpful in my opinion.
Maybe just a last word. I'm a bit talkative, but we will have something new next year. I just would like to highlight is what we call the premium offer. So some of the candidate prospect may have noticed some fees differentiation among programs at Skema, and in the FMI, so we did decide to have a premium positioning, which means that we will offer some additional services. And you were referring about visa, housing, accommodation. So we will have now one strictly dedicated FMI member staff dedicated to help students on a daily basis for everything related to their daily life at Paris. And also one specialist to finance career, helping for a job placement, plus an alumni, also a collaborator in charge of organizing alumni events every semester, and on top of that, some study trip, at least one each year in New York, in London, in Zurich, or in Frankfurt. So that's truly a full set now of tools, plus some coaching on request, meaning that the student is having an interview, first round, a prestigious tier 1 investment bank, he will have direct access to some teachers or to some alumni working there, in order to be to ensure that he will have all the tools and knowledge to perform. So that's again the full arsenal of tools that we will put in place.
Dafer, what are the different job opportunities after the MSCs?
If we focus on the MSc Sustainable Finance FinTech, we, as you can imagine, we have two goals, two fields in CSR first and in FinTech. So in CSR, we offer the possibility to our students to be able to find position in variety of fields in this topic, CSR, as a CSR specialist, ESG rating specialist, ESG analyst consultant, ESG risk analyst, new energy finance, green bond expert, etc. But additionally to this field, our students are able to integrate FinTech, to integrate financial advisory and consulting office, to be data analysts, to integrate teams in corporate financial solution, in banking and digital finance, etc. To be very clear, I want to complete what said by Amaury. I think our main strength is our network. Okay, our network is our big assets, among others assets, of course, because we have a strong link with our teachers that are practitioners and with our alumni. So thanks to this network, we can organize wonderful, events that help our students to have the guarantee to be connected directly to the job market. Some events like the Job Market Opportunities Day, the Induction Day, days in fall and spring, the Professional Development Committee, all those give a strong guarantee to our students to be in adequation with the job market.
And Céline, if we have like a big picture of the 4 MSCs, you cover all the different parts of the financial world and financial professional world, I assume, Céline.
Yes, indeed. With the menu of master that we offer, you can probably find the right path according to your career choice. And what I often say to students is that they are pretty stressed about their specialization choice, especially their track choice. So let's say they want to do corporate finance, for instance, but then they're not sure which track to choose between Bello, Suzhou, Sofia, Paris, because we offer many different tracks. What I recommend usually is to really do whatever you like, what you are attracted by. That doesn't mean you're going to have to work specifically in that field in the future. It doesn't, restrict you to some very specific jobs. the CFM and the FMI and the Master in Sustainable Finance and also the Master in Audit, it does prepare you for some specific jobs, but the range of jobs that you can reach with a Skema MSc diploma is wide in any case.
And what are usually, Amaury, the salaries after an MSc in finance?
This is the tricky question. Salaries, well, in average, but then I will maybe nuance slightly. We talk about $70,000 US equivalent. So why I'm saying that? Because of course it's very varying depending on the country where you're looking for. For our students that used to make the FMI in Raleigh, something which is very specific to our structure is to offer the possibility to have a US visa, which we call the OPT. And again, this is to have it, you need to have your own campuses on spot, which means that it's not enough to have any Erasmus or partnership with US universities to have that specific visa. So visa to stay in the US territory over at least 1 year after graduation. So again, if they succeed to find a job in Wall Street, it's very clear that all in all, including bonuses, any package, all inclusive, let's say, they have a higher wage expectancy. So, and over alumni, they find 53% of them abroad, so outside France, mainly in London, in Europe, so London, Zurich, or so as I said in New York, or in Asia, mainly in Hong Kong.
Umaima, I'm not going to ask you about your salary because we're in France and that's not that public, but how did your integration to the professional world go?
I lost contact. Can you repeat your question?
Yes, sorry. There was a little joke with the question, but I'm not going to do it again. I was asking you, how did your integration to the professional world go?
It went very well, very easy. It's as if I was meant to do this job forever. So far, so good. I'm very thankful for Skema, what it has provided, for Daffer, especially because he was there all through my year in Skema, and I'm very thankful, and I do not regret my choice to enroll in the MSc Corporate Financial Management.
Diederik, to conclude this live session, what do you want to do after you graduate?
After I graduate, I want to work in investments, maybe as a trader, maybe in a hedge fund. I don't fully know yet, but in that direction, investments. I think that's very interesting. And I also want to stay connected with Amaury and the people in the FMI. I think, that's also important.
But we wish you the best for the rest of your professional life. Thanks a lot, Amaury, Diederik, Pierre, Daffer, Umaima, and Céline for having been with us today. And thanks to you for having watched us. If you still have questions about the different MSc programs in finance, don't hesitate to visit the website of Skema Business School. Do I miss something? No, I don't miss a point. Okay, I was afraid I missed a point, but no, I don't miss a point. If you still have questions, don't hesitate to visit the website of Skema Business School, and see you soon on Campus France Live.
Bon.